Democrats, today is Wednesday, September 14th, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. Happy Wednesday. All righty, so it is. What that means is we are 55 days away from the election. It is coming up on us. It is rushing on us like a train. And if you haven't made your plan, you haven't picked your candidates, you still have time. You still have time, but you need to get on it. You need to educate yourself about the candidates so that you can educate other folks about the candidates. And again, our candidates are out there. They're working. They're everywhere. You need to go and be where they are. And sometimes that's online, but you need to go and be where they are, hear them talk, get to know them, so that the names that are going to be on your ballot are actual people who you've interacted with, so you know who you're voting with, because they're traveling all over the place. And so I implore you to find out where they're going to be. Go out to their websites, go out to their social media pages, find out where they're going to be where they are, so you can get a sense of who they are. And so they're not just a name, and they're not just somebody that I'm telling you about. Now, speaking of who am I telling you about? I have been going on and on and on about the top of the ticket. I've been talking a lot about Kendra Horn, who's running for U.S. Senate to fill the seat left vacant by Jim Inhofe, about Madison Horn, who's running against James Lankford, who needs to go, right? Because he really believes that he lives in Texas. We need him to go. I've been talking about our congressional candidates, Adam Martin, Naomi Andrews, Jeremiah Ross, Mary Brannon, Joshua Harris Till. I've been talking about our congressional races. I've been talking about the state races, Governor Joy Hoffmeister, Lieutenant Governor Melinda Elizalde Fard, Corporation Commissioner Rorigia Bowman, Labor Commissioner Jack Henderson, State Treasurer Charles DeCune, Superintendent of Public Instruction Gina Nelson. I've been talking about these folks, and you've been hearing them, because I think it's important that you know that all of the people who I just named, except for the congressional people, you only have one of them, will be on your ballot. We are not finished. I keep watching the news, I keep reading the newspaper, and they keep acting like Democrats don't have a choice, that Democrats don't have anybody on the ballot. You have folks on your ballot. There will be people on your ballot. Now, I've been talking about those folks because I really want you to know about them. But I also want you to know about some of our down ballot races, really about all of our down ballot races. But a lot of them aren't getting enough attention. They're not. And here's the thing. The only way we expand our numbers in the state House and in the state Senate is by making sure that we're giving them some attention. We have our incumbents. We have, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and Norman. We have those kind of locked down, except Norman has several races that are not decided, but we have those pretty much covered. But we aren't talking enough about Jimmy Haley over in the eastern part of the state, and Steve Jarman, who's down in the southern part of the state, and Nicholas Payne, who's kind of up in the northern part of the state. We're not talking enough about all of our candidates and making sure that they understand that they're getting the attention. The way we expand, the way that Democrats have more of a voice, is that we elect folks. We elect the people in Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and Norman, absolutely. But then we start getting outside of Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and Norman, and making sure folks like Trish Ranson in Stillwater stays in office, and that we cover Mike Baucus, who is running for a seat that would be a flip seat if he got it. We've got to talk about these races. Shakira Smith and Kyle Mraz down in Lawton. We got to talk about these races and give them the attention that they deserve. So I know I have thrown some names at you that you haven't heard. So let me tell you where you can find them. I want you to go out to okdemocrats.org. Then go under vote, scroll down and click on 2022 candidates. And let's talk about that, right? Let's talk about it. I want to show you this screen. This is on our website. So it's not just their names. It's their names. It's what office they're running for. It's a picture of them so that they're more of a person to you. And then you scroll down. And so there are our U.S. Senate races, and there's our congressional races. Running for governor, lieutenant governor, I already told you, that's Joy Hoffmeister and Melinda Elizalde Fard. But then as we go down the line, we have our statewide officers. state treasurer, superintendent of public instruction, labor commissioner, corporation commissioner. We have amazingly qualified candidates, but we need to talk about them more because I need you to know more about them. Jennifer Esau over in Eastern Oklahoma, Blake Aguirre over in Oklahoma County and a little bit of Canadian County, and Karen Rackley and Johnny Jernigan. We have candidates all over this map. We have candidates all over the map. We need to make sure that J.J. Dossett over in Owasso keeps his seat. But we have candidates all over this map, and the only way that Democrats are going to be able to stave off some of the crazy that comes out of our state legislature is that we have more of them. And so here are our candidates. You can scroll down, find your candidate, click their name. It has their website, their social media contacts, and if they've joined me on live, or if they've joined Scott Hamilton, our executive director, on the Hamilton Report, that video is there too. Here's a way for you to get to know the candidates. And if you're in a giving mood, pick a candidate that you haven't heard of and throw them a little bit of money, because money is hard to come by this cycle. It has been really hard to come by this cycle, and they need your help. So this is what the website looks like, and this is where you can find folks, find information about them. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the screen, you enter your address, and it will show you who's going to be on your ballot. It will help you make sure that you're registered to vote. It'll help you make sure that you're registered to vote. It'll tell you who's going to be on your ballot. Then it'll also help you make a plan. I tested it out in the last election, and I said, I'm going to vote early in person on Saturday around 11 o'clock. On Friday, I got a text reminding me, hey, you said you're going to vote tomorrow. Make sure that you have a plan. On Saturday around noon, 1 o'clock, I get a text that said, hey, did you vote? You said you were going to vote. I hope you did. Those are the kinds of things we need to make sure that everyone shows up, right? I am getting more and more excited as the polls came out and shows that Joy Hoffmeister is within 1 point, where she's in a statistical dead heat with Kevin Stitt, who is an incumbent, who should be further ahead. But we have the better candidate. Just full stop. We have the better candidate. Gina Nelson, who's running for superintendent of public instruction, leads beyond the gap for error. She leads Ryan Walters in that race. It only happens if we show up. And a way to make sure that it happens, and a way to make sure to kind of lock it in, is to vote for all of the Democrats down ballot, because they will help those candidates. They will help those candidates get elected, and those candidates' presence will help those smaller races. But what else helps those smaller races is you. Your time, your talent, and your treasure. You donating time, driving them around as they drop literature, writing postcards, doing phone banks, putting out their signs when they get signs, donating money so they can afford signs and postcards. And if they need design help, or they need, some kind of additional help, that's your talent. That's how we expand our presence in this state, is that we elect people, in addition to Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and Norman, we elect people outside of those areas, and we expand the map. And we have candidates outside of those areas all over the state. Don't believe the doom and gloom. When you watch the news, they act like only Republicans are running. It's not true. It's flat not true. You saw the page of folks that we have. If they say it enough, they suppress your vote. If they say it enough, you feel like you don't have a ballot and you don't need to go. I am telling you, you have a ballot. You need to go. And you need to take 10 people with you. I keep saying 10, and it sounds insurmountable, but it's because I want you to work for it. I need you to work. I need you to work for it. We have an opportunity. We have polling that was run by a conservative polling group. We have polling that says we have a shot. But we only have a shot if we show up in record numbers. We have to show up in record numbers. And if we show up in record numbers, we'll have seats in Lawton. We'll have seats in Enid. We'll have seats out east, and we'll have seats down south. But only if we show up and cast a ballot. We can't walk around sad mouthing. We have to believe we have a shot, and then we have to work for it, because hope is not a strategy. We have to do something in addition to hope. We have to hope and fight. And you're here. You're watching me. I know you have fight in you. I'm hoping that you exercise your fight. So if you know somebody in Claremore, make sure that they know that Jennifer Esau and Susan Young are on the ballot. Because Claremore hasn't had a Democrat to vote for in a minute. They may not know that they have a Democrat to vote for. They have down ballot Democrats, and we need to make sure that we give them our attention. I absolutely care about the top of the ticket. Don't misunderstand me. I absolutely care about the top of the ticket, but I also care about the down ballot races as well. And we all need to care about the down ballot races, because those races are the ones that affect our livelihoods, that affect our everyday living. Actually more. The closer to where you live, the more influence they have over your life. So go out to okdemocrats.org, click on vote, click on 2022 candidates, learn about the candidates, call them up and ask them how you can help. Don't say, how can I help? Call them and say, I can write a mean postcard. I'm willing to drive you around on Saturday. I can bring water to your volunteers. I can write a check for $250. Can't do $250. I can write a check for $25. I can write a check for $20 till the rest of this race is over, every week, every month. All of that will be helpful. All of it will be helpful. We got to reach out. We got to help our candidates. Again, day 2 of me begging. That should tell you how important this is. Day 2 of me begging you to educate yourselves about the candidates and then go out and support them. We are close. We can actually make a difference. They're not expecting us, because they've worked for years to tell us that our vote doesn't matter. They've worked for years to tell us that this is a red state and we should give up. We're not giving up. And we actually have hope. So I'm asking you, pick a couple of candidates and add a candidate that you haven't heard about. Add a candidate that you haven't heard about. Throw them a couple of dollars. A couple of dollars will help them, because no one's sending them money. They're down there struggling. And when I say down there, I mean in all the outlying places, they're struggling because nobody's talking about their races. So pick a candidate in an outside race and help them. That helps us all as a state. Helps us all as a state. If we have enough folks, I don't care that Nicholas is from Enid. If Nicholas is on the House floor and he's fighting for something I believe in, it helps me all the way over here in Tulsa. That's how it works. All righty. Thanks for joining me. And I'll be back here tomorrow at 4:15. You guys have a great Wednesday evening.